Welcome to Mission Matters Live. I am Megan Mio, Director of the Global Mission Office. And this is part 2 of a conversation with Sister Jean Marie Cabatingan and Sister Rubi Arellano. They are Sisters Servants of the Visitation, an international missionary congregation called to serve those on the peripheries in 14 missions around the world. Sister Jean Marie is currently ministering in Nairobi, Kenya, and Sister Rubi works in Jaiba, Brazil. And so in our first segment, we were talking a little bit about the charism of your congregation, a little about your vocational journeys, each of you. You knew from a very young age that you were going to be sisters. And I think, it sounded like it was implicit that you'd be missionaries too. You have such adventurous spirits that you immediately went to Italy from the Philippines for your formation. And now your congregation and the focus on the visitation and that joyful greeting, bringing the smile of God, informs your missionary work. So I'd like to talk a little bit more about the missionary work of your congregations, and we can talk about your own experiences. You're in two completely different parts of the world, completely different places. We can start with Sister Jean Marie. So you're currently on mission in Kenya. And so tell us a little bit about the community and the work that you're doing in that particular place.
Okay, yes. As I mentioned earlier, I am currently in Kenya. And when I first arrived in Kenya, I was assigned in our mission community in Olmoran, because we have two communities in Kenya, in Olmoran and in Nairobi City. Okay. So when I arrived in Kenya, I was destined in Olmoran, where we run a home for the abandoned children. Yes, we take care of the malnourished children, abandoned, and those children with disabilities physically and mentally. And we send them also to school, thinking about also for the brighter future for them, because many of them, the family cannot afford for letting them to go to school, because it is Olmoran is a poor area. It is a secluded area. And the people there are really very poor. They can't afford even their basic needs, even food, clothing. Yes, and medicines. That's why we have also there in that mission, we have a dispensary where the poor people can access free medicines and also for the low-cost medicines. So our dispensary is made for that, for the poor people in Olmoran. And in 2024, I was transferred in Nairobi, where I am currently now, in the formation house. There I am dealing with young people that desiring to become sisters. Currently we have 14 young women in the formation house. Oh my gosh. Yes, they are from different countries. We have from Cameroon, from Madagascar, and Kenyans. Oh my gosh. Yes. They are learning about our congregation, our charism, about the story of our foundries, our spirituality. And they are also, we teach them also how to really to become a sister. The formation, it is our apostolate in doing, to teach them to become responsible sisters in the future. Yeah. And alongside of that, aside from formation, we involve them also in the apostolic mission. So twice a week, or if it is more than if it is needed, we go to slum areas of Nairobi. We go visiting the poor, the sick people. We bring them food and medicines, because in Nairobi there is also we are calling it Kibera. It's a slum area where there are many poor people. So we go there for apostolates with these young ones, to let them know also the reality of our world today, that it's not only the good things that we are having, but there are also the difficulties in life. So it's one of our teaching to them, to let them know the realities of the world.
That is part of their formation, is to do that kind of service. Yes, that is part of their formation. Oh my goodness! Yes. So that is your main responsibility, is to work with these young women and to be taking them out and these apostolates and offering education.
Yes, we are also.
Spiritual
They are
formation.
also going to school to learn something else, because in our congregation institutes we are only teaching about the life of the sisters, about charism, spirituality, and about the congregation.
Right.
So the other things like psychology or something is about the church. They are learning it outside with yes, they are calling it internovitiate and interpostulancy. Yes.
With other young
With
women.
other
who
young
are
women together.
considering the
Yes.
religious life.
So we accompanied them.
Interesting.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's like, it's more than a job, right? I mean,
Yes.
that is an understatement. It is
Yeah,
an
yeah.
understatement. It's vocation. This is a
Yeah.
lifestyle
Yeah.
that these young women are preparing for. And they need to be certain, I mean, to a point, that this is, yes, I know what I'm saying yes
Yes,
to.
being
right?
a formator is it's not like a job. It's a service that we are doing for God. Yes.
Yes. And you're working with women from a different part of the world.
Yes, from Cameroon, Madagascar, and from Kenya.
Very interesting.
Yes.
So, I mean, has that been a challenge for you to adjust to?
Yes, at the first time, because I have not been in the formation house, in the formation area in that side, no. So it was very difficult for me how to deal with them. But in God's grace, I also learned, I went to school also to learn the formation, so that I can be able to work with them well, to teach them how it is really supposed to be in the formation,
Yeah.
in learning how to become truly a true sister,
Yes.
a responsible sister in the future.
Right.
Yes,
Wow.
I prepared also myself.
Yes, I'm sure you face your own challenges
Yeah.
in that. Because
Yes.
the pressure is on for you as well, because you need to be a role model for them about what it means to be a sister too, I'm sure.
Yes,
can be a
that is the
challenge.
first thing that we have to do as a formator, being a role model with them. That they have to, the things that they have seen to us is the good, the positive things, not the negative things, because they are looking for us.
Yes.
Everything that we do is it's how to say it. It's a way for them to do it also.
Yes. Yeah.
So-
You're always doing it to
Yes.
share it, to show it to
Yeah.
others. I mean, to anyone, not just women, I'm sure, in formation. I'm sure you both had your good formators yourselves, women who are leaders. You mentioned, of course, your foundress as
Yes.
somebody who just inspired you and
Yeah.
kept you going. So we know how important that is.
Yes, we
for a
teach
growing
our own
congregation.
experience.
Yes, of
Yes.
course. Wow. Well, and you have your own experience in mission, and so I'm sure
Yes.
that informs everything that you share. And that is a tough location.
Yes, I can tell you that I can say that I am very happy being in Kenya.
Yes.
Really, I think it's God's grace that is giving me to be able to embrace even the difficulties that I am having in that beautiful country, I say. Because it's not only the good things that we have to face,
Yeah.
also the difficulties we have to face it with courage.
Yes.
Yes.
It is what it's what makes us stronger. It's what
Yes.
what strengthens our relationship with God, I think, are our challenges in life for certain. Yes, absolutely. Well, I also want to hear about the mission in Jaiba, Brazil, that Sister Rubi has been at. Now, you're new to that mission, so tell us a little bit about that work in that area.
Oh, Jaiba is in the corner of the world. Imagine my travel from the Philippines going to Jaiba is 27 hours. So, and from that, the airport it needs to go in the remote area with a long straight road with full of dust.
Wow.
As
goodness.
I have mentioned before that I am just new in Jaiba. Last year I was transferred, and my first challenge it was the language. Learning Portuguese. No, Portuguese is another types of language that it's so hard. But as we know, as a missionary,
Right.
we need to learn first the language of love in whatever you don't know how to speak. But if we have a language of love, we can communicate. They understand us. I understand them. So Jaiba, it can found it is in the northern part of Minas Gerais, in the state of Minas Gerais. Is Jaiba is 38,000 population, but they are known for the good farmers because they have a lot of agricultural lands. That's why it's a lot of fruits that we are selling locally and internationally. So we are, our congregation is present 18 years that we are serving Jaiba. But in Brazil is the first mission that our mother founders opened it. So imagine, it's 40 years. 40 years of existence of our mission in Brazil, but in Jaiba is in 18 years. So we have our mission, we called it Projeto Vida. Projeto Vida in Portuguese, it means in English, life project. No? So our mission there is to take care of the children and adolescents from 6 years old to 18 years old, no, and daily. So the challenge there is so different because we are taking care of their children to remove them from the streets. Because if you speak about, they will always ask us, how about Brazil? It's a lot of violence, right? So yeah, it's true. That's why violence especially in drug trafficking and prostitution. Imagine children are already involved. Some of our clients, of our beneficiaries, is already involved for the drug trafficking in their age. Because why? Because lack of is very poor.
Yeah.
The parents, the parents will stay in the house, or they will be hungry, or the parents will go to work. So the parents they have to go to work in the farms, and the children will live. They are just alone in the house. So because the school there is only half day.
Oh, okay.
It's,
So
it's only half day. So we have to
free to do whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
So what we are doing, we have our bus. We get them from the house. We bring it in our facilities, and we offer a lot of workshop. We have guitar lesson. Brazilian they are good in playing guitar.
Guitar. Okay.
Organ lesson, crafts. We have computer lessons. We have tutorial. We have dance lessons, and we offer to them everyday meals, breakfast and lunch. No, so as our motto in Portuguese, we called it "Fazer hoje e melhorar amanhã." It means we are doing it today to make it better tomorrow. So we are doing for the futures of these children.
Yes.
Imagine how we give a better future for them instead of going to the streets, involved to the drugs, involved to the prostitution. So and we are so happy. We are so great to offer free all these activities.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Wow. And it's a partnership, correct? You work with others.
Yeah,
outside
we
the
work with
congregation.
others association. Sometimes government they help us, the city help us. But we are a Catholic mission.
Yeah.
It's a private,
Yeah.
so they are not obliged. It's not their obligation. But if they can help, they help us. That's why we are keep sending a lot of project proposals so that we can go on with our different projects. If it will not be approved, we cannot go on
You
our
have to-
activities. That's why it
interesting.
depends to the
Okay.
project proposal.
Well, there's so much diversity of the different areas
Yes.
of activity and training that the children can receive
Yeah.
that I'm sure that takes a lot of people to be involved. You need experts in all
Yeah,
these
of
different
course.
areas
We
too, to be
educate
teachers.
them in Christian education. We let them to know God. If they know God, they have the spiritual foundation. It helps also for them to reflect, even though people outside that have a good, that they will not involve, and
Yes.
themselves, they can decide, no, I will not do it because it's not good. No, because
Yeah,
of
they're
the
making
teaching.
their own choices. They have
Yeah.
good values that they've been instilled with that they can say, I want this
Yeah.
kind of a life instead of that kind of a
Yeah, yeah,
life
yeah.
once they're old enough to choose for themselves.
Yeah. But I love Jaiba.
Amazing.
I just stayed there for 1 year. It's already, and I will give everything for them. Our congregation. Yes.
It's amazing. Amazing. And you bring that same joy with you
Yeah,
wherever you
yeah,
go,
yes.
Sister Ruby. It's awesome. I mean, I think that I'm sensing a pattern here with the kind of missions and ministries that your sisters are involved in. You do work with children often, and those who are just at the most risk. And so I think that that's something to just note as where there's a need that you all respond.
Yeah, and also home visitation. Yeah, like Mary who visited Elizabeth now to bring the good news, to bring the joy to the person that is marginalized in Jaiba or in some part of our missions. It's not just easy because even the road is going there is so hard, but we have to go.
Yes.
Like Mama Mary, go in a hurry, in a haste to bring Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's showing people that you care, that you're willing to make that journey to see them face to face, and that, yes, you know the
we
value of
serve them
that.
physically and spiritually, and materially.
Yes.
Of course, they need also some things to eat, something to wear.
Yes, right. Well, you're also reminding them that God is present in these remote places that you have to travel such a long distance to get to, where people might feel far from God, that you're bringing that smile and you're bringing that God's presence through your own presence.
Yeah, a lot of people doesn't know God. They don't know even who is God, who is Jesus.
Yes, yeah. This is what makes you truly missionaries too.
Yeah.
You're bringing that hope and joy as a missionary does. So now we talked about that meeting other members of your congregation. It's clear you have that charism, you have that joy and that smile. I wonder, Sister Jean Marie, when you're meeting with these young women who are considering this and who may be sent anywhere around the world, what do you look for in these young women that tells you they might be appropriate?
Well, as a formator, I don't look for perfect candidates. What truly matters is their openness to discover God's call, and their willingness to learn and grow. You know, formation is not about making someone good and making someone an ideal image, no, but it is a journey of discernment. Discernment that we have to accompany them in their discovering their own vocation. One thing that I always tell them during our classes, during our formation classes, no, is to have that to build the formation, to build the formation from the beginning, to build it well, because only that they can become a good and responsible sisters in the future. I always told this to them when I have a class with them, to do their initial formation.
Yes.
And then also I always remind them not to be afraid in saying yes to God's call. Yes.
I'm sure there's a lot of hesitation in there. Don't be afraid.
Yes, saying yes needs strong determination and courage.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's not easy, but if you will entrust everything to the Lord, she will give you also the grace how to face it. No?
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Well, I believe what you're saying about a good foundation, that they've really spent this time in formation, coming to know what God wants for them. And you're saying their vocation, which is important because I think some people think that, I'm sorry to tell me if you agree, but I have my own opinions about formation process, that it isn't about saying, let me fit to the charism of this congregation. It's what is God calling me to? What are my gifts? What do I have to offer? And does it match up with the charism and the gifts of this congregation? Do I have something to give?
Yes,
and you have something to give to
when
me?
We are with this
complement.
When dealing with these young women, no, they are not there during formation. They are not there because they want to fit in our charisms. They are discovering what is their vocation. So if they don't feel to stay with our charism, no, they are free to go to experience in another congregation.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Explore.
They are free. Yes.
Yeah. So then you know that if they do determine, yes, I'm going to stay and I want to go deeper, then they can be stronger and, as you say, responsible sisters later in life that will stay for many, many years, 25, 29 years, something like that. I mean, it's amazing. And you have to be very strong in order to be willing to go wherever God sends you, as missionaries in particular.
Of course, we need we need to pray for our perseverance, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, gift
Particularly-
of perseverance from God.
I mean, I've heard this from many missionaries where you're building from nothing too. I mean, you weren't going to missions that didn't already exist in your case, it sounds like, but in so many places. But you have challenges you face, and you have to just figure it out, find a way to make it work. And that takes that perseverance and that confidence and trust. Well, wonderful. All right, it's time for another pause. So we're ending part 2, but we still have part 3. We're going to learn a little bit more about the mission appeals that the sisters just made and are going to be making soon, and how you can learn more about this congregation, the Sisters Servants of the Visitation. So let's come back in just a few minutes to learn more about bringing that smile of God to all. Stay tuned.